I will apologize up front. Everybody's brain is kind of mush. It's been a long week, and we're going to try to do this anyway. It is.
Way to set expectations.
I know. Well, you got to set that shit as low as possible. All right, July 7th, the year 2022. This is the Loose Screws podcast. Make sure that you like us and follow us and share us and go to loosescrews.com and buy merchandise because Data needs a new pair of shoes. And I will go around the room and we'll just do the usual intro thing so I don't have to talk that much right off the bat. Let's go a strange order today. Let's start right in the middle with somebody who hasn't been here in a while live. We hear his voice every week with his funky ass recordings and the creepy voices he does. Here's I think we're going. It looks like we're going by Notorious BARD this week. So Bard, what's up, my man?
Not much. Haven't really been doing much, although I've been sick. So I'll take myself off of talking as soon as I start coughing. But other than that, all right.
All right. Well, anything exciting in real life? You still delivering the packages and stuff?
Yeah, but nothing really exciting. Oh, except for the voice acting thing I did.
What voice acting thing did you did?
So that I took a voice acting gig a little while ago for a play that's not out yet. But yeah, I got paid to be a voice actor. I thought it was pretty cool.
Well,
That's
damn.
neat.
Yeah.
I did that once at a plantation down in Louisiana. They needed someone who sounded like a Yankee for because they were setting up audio tours.
Cool. Yeah, I got to play 3 different people. It was based on the Civil War. Got to play General Grant, Senator Seward, and one other guy I can't remember. But yeah, it was pretty cool. It was just about Abe Lincoln and all that. And there's going to be another script, so there's another chance that I could be a voice actor in the next play too. So it's going to be cool.
Nice work. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Maybe you'll be all famous and stuff, and then you can pay us to be your friends.
Mm.
I mean, my friendship is definitely
now though.
My friendship is definitely purchasable with legal tender.
We know. Everybody, that is our good DM, Teflon 12. I'm always going to add the 12 at the end now, just because. What's been up in your life and your gaming life? And, well, I know, but not everybody does.
I ate the Pope.
That's supposed to be during Chig chat. That's an accomplishment in the realm of awesomeness, but go ahead. Tell them what that means.
So I play a lot of Crusader Kings, and you can eat the Pope in that game. So I did.
So what's like the gameplay progression? How do you do that?
Oh, in
this game.
It's a grand strategy game. So, if you've never heard of Crusader Kings, it's a paradox grand strategy game. You play as a ruler, and so you can play as like a count or a duke or a king or an emperor, and manage your land and your vassals and everything that goes with it. And then when you die, you just always have to have an heir, because if you don't have an heir to take over, then your game will be over when your character dies. And they can die any number of ways that people died in the Middle Ages. So, that's how it works. You play from. You can either start in 867 or 1066, and I think it goes through about 400 years. And you build this dynasty of your family and the things you accomplish, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, now, if you eat the Pope, is the Pope out of the game, or do they appoint a new Pope?
They appoint a new Pope, it's the same as if you killed the Pope.
Then you could become a serial Pope eater.
Well, actually, that could happen, because the new Pope keeps messing with me.
Doesn't he know what you did to the last pope?
Yeah, it's like, do you know how you got your job?
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
You just show up with a
Right.
fork and knife.
Yeah. Oh man. Do you want me to go into how I ate the Pope, or do you want to move on?
If I don't have to talk, I say go ahead. Tell us how you ate the pope. That's
Well,
it's intriguing to me.
well, I started as playing as Vikings up in Scandinavia, and at first I was trying to. I had to get access to the Pope, so I raised my men at arms and my levies as raiders because that's how you get money. And when you're playing Viking, that's one of the best ways to get money is to go raid. Well, I sent them down to sail all around Europe, down to Italy and hit Rome, and that's how I got to interact with the Pope. And I tried raiding a bunch of times to see if I could get him, see if I could capture him that way. And the best I ever got is a bishop. So I changed up my strategy a little bit. I took some land in mainland Europe, and I moved down and took some land in next to the papacy, so just north of Rome, and tried raising armies to go down there and just go to war with the papacy, because that can happen too especially when you attack a capital, is you can take prisoners of war, and if you capture the leader, the war ends, or you can end the war right there. And I was really just trying to get him just so I could eat him. The whole point of this playthrough was to eat the Pope.
Now, do you have to make your society cannibalistic in order to do this, or I don't understand how this is an option in the game?
Yeah, you have to make him cannibalistic. So I'll go over that real quick before I continue with how I got the Pope. Okay. The first thing I did was I had to gain enough piety in order to reform the religion that I was in. So I was Astreyu or Asatru, however you say that, but it's Norse pagan, and one of the tenets of it was sacrifice, blood sacrifice. So I would gain piety for executions. So for the first 100 years, I was an execution machine. Any prisoners I took while going to war, I executed just to gain piety so I could reform the faith. I had to gain enough piety to be able to reform the faith to add cannibalistic sacrifice. And then you can either execute your prisoners by beheading, or you can behead them and devour them. So once I was able to add that, that's when I started aiming at the Pope. That's when I started trying to get to the Pope. I had to secure that first because it wouldn't do me no good to get the Pope and not have that.
Okay.
Yeah, well, because they'll die in your dungeons if you leave people in there too long. So
you don't want to eat a dead Pope. Don't want him to spoil before you get a chance to eat him.
Of course not.
You don't want the Pope to go bad.
Die of dysentery because you ate a bad Pope. Got it.
So anyway, I took a little bit of land north of Rome. I kept attacking and declaring war on the papacy, trying to capture the Pope. I 3 or 4 wars, and I never got him. So I ended up getting a ruler. My next ruler was at the time very into the intrigue tree, which is for schemes and things like that, and deals and assassinations and all kinds of things. Well, on the intrigue tree, skill tree, is one called one for abduction, for kidnapping. And I thought, okay, I can make this work. So I was using my spy master and to find hooks on people around the Pope, people in his quote unquote court or inner circle, the people he has relationships with. And I have quite a few secrets to gain hooks. And a hook is something that you can use for blackmail to pull them into a scheme. You can bribe them with it, use it to change a contract. anything. It's basically I have something on you, so you're going to do what I say, or I'm going to expose it. Right?
Okay, so modern politics. Got it.
Yeah. So I got those hooks, and then it took me 3 abduction schemes to finally get the Pope. On the third one, I had enough hooks, and I ended up getting the score up to a 75% chance, and then I got him. And as soon as I got him, I paused the game and I saved it, and then took screenshots and made a YouTube video, all of eating the Pope. That's the most interesting thing that happened in that playthrough. And that was the main goal. But there's a lot of other really interesting stories from that playthrough. I'll have to tell you guys later.
Everything about that just sounds insane. All right, I guess let's let Ty follow that one.
I mean, there ain't no following the eating the Pope. I also want to say that this is not the first time I've heard something weird about Crusader Kings. And when I say weird, you can do some really wild things in that game, and
yeah, you can.
I'm continuously kind of amazed by it, but I'm also kind of sitting there going, why would anybody want to just do this? Like, if I'm making a video game and I'm sitting around going, I think that this game would benefit from from the ability of me eating the Pope, because someone had to program that.
Yeah.
What is wrong with this person?
I mean, are you asking me what's wrong with me?
No.
I think it was rhetorical, but yeah, we don't.
Like, it was so you know how I play Stellaris, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are like all kinds of different species of aliens in that game, to where you have avian, like bird people, and it was a long running joke in the Stellaris community that we wanted to be able to eat the other races when we conquer them or when we attack them. And it was just a long running gag and a meme in the community about, especially when it came to the avian people, because they're birds. There's ones that look like chickens or turkeys.
Yeah.
And then it became a thing in the game to where it's a type of the when you conquer their species or a planet of theirs, you can set their species rights to where they're not just slaves, but they're cattle.
Wow.
And technically, if you have catalytic processing in that game, you can turn food into alloys. So you could turn them into food, then turn them into spaceship material, and then sell and you can sell those alloys back to their own race. So you can sell them. You can sell their own race back to their own people, made into spaceship alloys used to build spaceships.
Here's what I'll say about that. Number one, Call of Duty gets a lot of shit because of it being a really violent game. And I think that is probably one of the most violent things I've ever heard. Selling your own eating people or your own people's remains back to them. And number two, Soylent Green is people.
Have we just met?
Yeah, this is well, off of all the weird shit we can do in these imaginary universes. What have you been doing in real life and in game, Ty?
I actually have not logged in at all this week to play the game. I haven't been playing a whole lot of games in general. I'm kind of in this video game cleanse right now, I call it, where I'm trying to avoid.
Does it involve enemas?
No, I'm actually avoiding playing games in general, because I when I got that Steam Deck, I got into this really bad, I don't want to say habit, but really bad thing where I had like all these games installed on my computer, all these games installed on the Steam Deck, and I would play them for 5-10 minutes and go to the next one. and I wasn't really enjoying any of them. I was just like getting geared to like I'd play Ori the Blind Forest, which I already played before, but I was sitting there playing it, and then I died from something stupid. And I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna go play Secret of Mana. So I played Secret of Mana. I was like, I really don't want to do this quest right now. So then I fired up and played Final Fantasy 6, and I was like, I really don't want to have to mess with this. And then I flipped over to Chrono Trigger. I got irritated about something there, and it just was this thing where I was like, I'm not really committing to anything here, and I'm getting more and more irritated. So I put myself on a video game cleanse, which timed out just about right. With some other stuff I got going on, I'm working on a couple of certifications for myself, so it kind of worked out well for me anyway. So I think I think the timing's just about right because there's a lot kind of going on story wise in Elite Dangerous right now. Unfortunately, I'm at a point where I just don't care, and I kind of almost feel like it's a little too late kind of feel about it. And the fact that it's a good time before other games I play that are, we got some stuff coming out later this year or early next year. So there's some good timing involved here with me. So.
Right on. I totally know that feeling where you just can't find a game you want to get into. But man, Elite's kind of a lot of cool shit happening right now.
Yeah.
Kind of excited. But let's find out what or real life. We didn't ask you about real life.
I mean, all I've been doing in real life is just working. Really, I will say one thing real quick about Elite. I did because it's on my Steam Deck, and I did spend some time and get a chieftain worked up so that I can actually be productive with y'all when we actually go kill Thargoid. So
sweet. That's what I'd rather be doing right now, to tell you the truth. But we'll get this done.
All right, go ahead. That's it.
All
That's
right.
all I got.
Doctor, Commander, Lieutenant Commander, Data the Third, Esquire. What is up in your world other than? And if you say space engineers, I swear to fucking no. Tell us what's been happening.
Hey, yeah, I'm. Hey, how's it going? Hey, video games. Am I right?
Am I right?
Video games.
He bought a console.
That's right. I'm purely Nintendo Switch now. That's all I play anymore. Recovering from eating too much over the holiday weekend here. We had like some sort of thing going on every day, sometimes multiple events per day. And what's one of the Jim Gaffigan bits? When you're on vacation, you're either thinking about getting something to eat, or I don't know. It's great when you can't remember a joke after you start saying it.
Well, I was thinking of the Gaffigan joke where he goes, it's like, yeah, holiday's just kind of an excuse to eat. It's like, I don't normally eat a steak, a brat, and a burger. 4th of July, I need my strength up to blow shit up, So that's a Gaffigan.
That's right. Pretend that I was saying that one. That's good.
Yeah, I try to do a data impression, but it would just sound like dub, so I don't even bother.
And got to enjoy some fireworks. I mean, there's plenty that go off around here, but I live kind of out in the holler. So
you have all your digits?
Yeah. I didn't do any. I didn't buy any this year.
Yeah.
I'm too scared. I know what could happen if I mess something up. But no, just walk out, sit by the back door, and folks up on the hill got the good stuff this year. So. Thankfully, Ohio changed their fireworks laws this year, so the real fireworks are legal to set off now.
Yeah, America.
That was my excitement this week. I did just logged in and played a little bit of Elite with you, but my time has been Space Engineers this week, having some fun playing on Dubs' server. He's got set up, which he's barely even played any at all, I think.
Yeah, he hasn't been around. He's not here tonight. That's some bitch.
It's a bit of a frustrating game.
Yeah, I hopped on with you guys just briefly the other night and just figured out how many ways I can die. It's interesting.
For a lot of us, it's been ways that we blow up our vehicles that we spend like 2 hours building, and then immediately they're just like made out of glass.
Oh boy,
And they explode.
sounds
Yeah.
sounds awesome. I
Yeah. I built
not
I
regretting it.
just got my ship stuck down in a hole that I was trying to dig. So yeah.
Well, okay. Oh yeah, I
Had it
see
for
you're
me.
on there. Yep,
Yeah.
you're there. All right. Well, I don't know what the hell. Should we do a squad update? Jump straight to that. In real life, all kinds of crazy shit. Some good, some bad. It's just been busy. I went camping, and then there's a fourth, and there was a bunch of other weird stuff. As far as video game playing, I have played very little. I logged on a little bit here before the show, and that's it. So
Summertime is a busy time for a lot of us, especially a lot of us. Most of us have like families and things that we do in the summertime where we're not away from our computer.
yeah,
Yeah, I actually, it's funny. I actually I just got to reading the freaking chat. I actually play far less or play far less video games during the summer than I do during the winter. And it's not even because I'm even outside more, because it's like 105 degrees outside here in Texas, and it's terrible right now. And I hate being outside because the bugs are. I mean, we basically have bees the size of bats flying around, and I like bees, but I don't like it. I don't like bugs, so I don't like being outside. But I don't know. I've been in kind of a funk video game wise, but I think part of that is because we're at a point where video games are just kind of really weird right now. But anyway.
Oh, so
I mean, I don't want to go in a whole diatribe here, so I didn't mean to get a whole digest down into this. So okay, I'll just go into it real quick. If you really want me to go down one of these diatribes, we can. But
yeah. I'm not sure you could spell diatribe, but I'll gladly let you do one.
All right, so I probably can't spell diatribe. I'm kind of a retard. All right, so basically, the vast majority of my gaming life, I've had a Blizzard game, whatever current FPS I was playing at that moment, where I would play with my friends, and some sort of space game, and that was it. Yeah, and I would, every now and then install an RPG and get done with it, and then uninstall it. I'm at a point right now where I have so many games installed on my computer and my Steam Deck that it's almost overload. Like there's so much crap to play, and I kind of sit here like I got home early tonight, and I was just like, oh, I got some time before we got to do a podcast. I'll sit here and play, and I ended up just reading crap off the internet.
Especially with Game Pass, man.
Yeah. It's a really weird time right now for games. We have more games and more options than we've ever had in the history of video games, and I find myself not really wanting to play any of them. And I don't even know why that is. And I don't know if I'm just getting to be older man Ty, or what, or it's a situation of the industry as a whole right now because of certain things that are going on, or it's a situation where they're producing shittier games, which that very well may be the case. But yeah, I've said this before in the past, and I'll say it again. It's really weird for my two favorite video game developers. One of them has been my favorite video game developer for 30 years, and they're now like one of the shittiest companies in the world. Like not even just as a video game, but as a company, they are one of the shittiest. And then you got the other company who we don't even really know if they're really invested in making this game anymore, because it kind of feels like they're not. And that's Ty's Diatribe. So
I mean, are you sure? Are you sure you're not just burnout? I mean, I get burnt out sometimes, and I take a break from playing games, and I focus on catching up on some shows that I want to watch, or reading some books.
Yeah, the problem is that like I have I picked up a couple books and like I started reading them and I was like, I don't care about any of this. And then I started I was like, well, it's okay. I'll watch Stranger Things and get caught up on that because I'm a season behind on that now. And man, I watched an episode and a half of it and I turned it off. I couldn't even tell you what happened in the first episode because I just wasn't paying attention to it.
I think dude, what you need is a porch, a pocket knife, and a piece of wood, and take up whittling. Start whittling shit.
I tell you what I did is that so a few months back I started going down the path of getting my private pilot license and then abandon it. And then recently I have purchased a drone and started flying that privately, but I'm going down the path of getting my commercial drone license because number one, there's money to be made there, and number two, there is a lot of to become a commercial drone pilot, you have to pass what's called a Part 107, and a lot of that actually comes from the basic airman stuff to be do the ground school part of becoming a private pilot. So it's like if I do the drone part, you kind of get the other part too. So
there you go. That sounds like a fun hobby that you might make money off of. I know our buddy Manitou got into the drone stuff pretty heavy there for a spell. You might have a chat with him.
Yeah. Trax has come to save the show, y'all. Thank God.
Excited.
Oh God! All right, tag team.
Okay.
He missed the best part.
Yeah, we talked about him eating the Pope. We took a lot of time talking about him eating the Pope.
Is that all we've done so far?
We're still at intros.
We're still talking about what's
all right.
stuff that's not elite.
Yeah, sounds good.
How long? We were going to do like a 15-minute show, and I don't know. I don't know how long have we been recording. Where's the
30 minutes?
24 minutes.
27 minutes.
Oh man, look, we're doing good. We almost got a half hour so far.
Yeah, that's good.
It ain't that bad, man.
It ain't that bad. It ain't that bad. So yeah, well, yeah. All right, you tell us what's been happening in your life, and then you do a squadron report, then you do a Thargoid Bug Report, then you do a bug report, and then we'll.
It looks like nobody's updated the notes since I was last in here.
No, I was going to use them anyway.
Okay.
I've been way too busy to figure anything out. So I just
what's new in my life. I've not played Elite hardly at all. I've been actually had some work outside of my own studio, a little more than usual. So that's kind of fun to do something different, but it's also a little stressful because having to commute to work. It's like
gross.
Makes everything take longer instead of just walking through my garage, but it's all right. I excited to see the news today that something's finally going on with some Thargoids.
Yeah.
So, probably turn on the game here in a second if I get a minute.
Yeah, I went to one of the mega ships and I got bounty on me right now, and I'm trying to find an interstellar factors, and it's proving challenging.
So, yeah. Anyway, that's a quick catch up. I guess my wife's gone out of state for visiting a friend, so the next 3 nights is just me. So, I guess I'm gonna get some Elite time.
Yeehaw!
Yeah, on a Friday and a Saturday. So,
sweet.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's my story.
All right. We don't have either one of our squadron people here. You want to do a squadron update since you're here?
Was I the last one?
You're the last person to show up, and yeah.
Okay.
And yeah,
so
we got nobody that knows anything.
All right. I'll tell you what.
So how about we do a squad update? Bang squadron update.
All right. Hold on, wait, I gotta find the right channel. Standing orders. All right, here's what's going on, nerds. High priority system cooldowns. They want you to reduce loose screws influence in 7 Andromedae and in V640 Cassiopeia. Bring those suckers down. They're going crazy.
Yeah.
And also on the watch list, 6 Andromeda, Snooky Cyan, V740 Cassiopeia. I always lose it about halfway through.
Should I be taking notes?
Notes how?
I don't know. You're
should
talking
type
about
it
all
into
this
the
stuff.
note sheet?
Yeah,
Oh,
should I be
I'm just
taking-
reading out of squadron orders, man.
Oh, so what we could have done is said, "Hey, squadron update, come over to the Discord, loose screws, and read the fucking notes, like lazy bastards."
There was a expansion that went off as planned, and then
What?
if you are doing bounty hunting for loose screws, if you have loose screws bounties, sell them in Balmus or Tripu, please. TRIPU, Tripu.
Right?
Anyway, please sell them only in those places because pretty much everywhere else we don't want to boost. And if you want to know more, you know where to go. It's in the Discord channel. You get it in there, you get your pants on, you get your belt done up tight, and then you go fly some squadron stuff. That's it.
I'd prefer suspenders.
I wonder if they'd be okay with suspenders down there. They run a pretty tight uniform code.
I don't
I don't
believe
know
that
about
for
that.
a minute. Well, yeah, Nurgle, he seems kind of anal about stuff like that. I bet you he does.
Hearsay.
They're probably all dressed up very specifically. Stormtrooper outfits or something.
Yeah, plastic armor.
Yeah. What's
Um,
that? If a stormtrooper and a red shirt get in a fight, the red shirt still dies? Is that how it goes?
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's how it went just now.
okay.
So.
Great.
What's the next thing? Thargoids?
Or bards? No. When do we play bards thing? Or,
In the notes, it says squadron update and then Thargoid Bug Report. Bard's thing is after the bugs.
Mhm.
Does he want to go now? The man's here.
You want to go now?
Sure.
Bard. We're
All right,
putting
hold
you,
on.
you're
Let me
putting
give you
now.
a train. Here's a train.
On the board, the Tin Helium Express!
Whew. All right. Okay, so either I need to pay the writers more or beat them more soundly. All they did this week was put the join the Discord reminder at the top of the script. Need to sort this out before next week. Might as well get the show on the road. Welcome aboard the Tinhatty McPress. Let's jump on into the recap. On June 30th, Salvation attempts to harness the power of foreshadowing, and players attempt to harness the power. July 1st, political leaders serving hot takes like hot meals, rarely and only in front of the camera. July 4th, Thargoid cult upset their god might die before their god kills them. July 5th, surprise CG, Salvation needs more guardian cadavers to power his toy. July 6th, Federation puts a pause on all Thargoid talk to remind us that Hector is going to be running 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines. And on top of that, he just came into Harry's and ordered 3 T66 turbos with NOS and a Motec system exhaust. On July 7th, Salvation gets his meds, considers taking them, and he also builds a Death Star Light. That's all I have for this week. Have fun out there.
Yeehaw.
What the fuck did you just say? What was all that shit about engines?
So,
wow. Yeah.
on July 6th, the Federation just out of the fucking nowhere does this whole crime busting thing. And it basically breaks the huge flow we have of all this Thargoid talk. So I figured, you know what? Let's just throw in a line from Fast and the Furious just for shits and giggles.
Nice. Well
All
done,
right.
sir. Well
It's
done.
about
Right.
it's about family.
Wonderful.
Nice. So is that
Well,
the
I don't
segue into
got
bug talk then?
Federation.
Or
I think
what?
so. I think all that's left is for me to play my uncomfortably loud Thargoid sound. Right?
Yes, I'm turning down my volume.
Okay. I just love how like it fades in kind of low and you're like, oh cool, it's like a Thargoid. And then the like whale trumpet out of bloody nowhere.
Brilliant.
And then the rest of it's like, oh, I'm loud now.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm not changing it.
Good stuff. I like it. Keep it the way it is.
All right, you've been in game. Give me the first-hand reports.
Well, first it just started kind of crazy this morning. All of a sudden, people are talking about there's CZs and there's bugs at megaships, and it all looked kind of normal. But then there's threat levels on the AXCZs all of a sudden. It's like, wait, what? And megaships were actually shooting Thargoids. So it's like, wait, what? So I kind of was, checking in on the AXI Discord over the course of the day and our Discord and everything and trying to follow what was going on. And everybody's still trying to figure out exactly what a low Thargoid CZ is and what a medium one is. And there aren't any labeled as highs, but people are speculating that the highs are the ones that are at the megaships right now, though I'm not quite sure. That nobody
They could
knows
just be saving
anything.
it.
Exactly. Now, I got on really late, just before the show, to take a look at, what was going on. And I want to see the megaship shooting at Thargoids. So I went to Oath of something or other megaship and dropped in, and I was being murdered by scouts and a Cyclops right off the bat, and didn't really get to pay attention to the megaship because then right as I was killing the Cyclops, a Medusa dropped in on my head, and then I was fighting her. And I never saw the megaship really actually doing anything. But then I got the Medusa down to, got all the hearts down. And then Data dropped in right as the shield dropped, and he got 40 million for kind of showing up and plinking the thing. So it was nice. But I did discover it's really easy to get a fine when you're flying at the megaship shooting. There's so much system authority, and the megaship's there and everything. So I picked up a bounty. So after we killed the Medusa, I decided to go get rid of the bounty, and I got hyperdicted as I was leaving and got pulled by 4 interceptors, and I'm like, cool. And I'm like, I'm gonna fight them. Well, I had just fought a Cyclops and a Medusa, and I was at 48% hull. All my weapons were a little beat up, and I had exactly 1 heat sink when I engaged the 4 Thargoids. I thought there were 4 Cyclops to begin with because they all seemed to be moving the same speed. And then I noticed that the one that I had targeted had whiskers, so it was a Medusa. So I was fighting 3 Cyclops and a Medusa. I got first heart on one of the Cyclops, but I flew through all 4 swarms and interceptors. So all 4 swarms got angry, and I was just about to get a second heart, and I've never seen so many missiles on a radar in my life, and they killed me. But it was fun. So that's been my experience so far. I'm hoping to play some more after we end the recording, and I want to try one of these medium. I want to try 1 low and 1 medium CZ just to see if there's
what they're like.
Yeah.
How many missiles sounds terrifying?
I died very rapidly. I
mean, 1 basilisk swarm going full suicide on you is enough to utterly destroy any ship if they really connect.
Yeah. And this was a Medusa and 3 Cyclops swarms. And that was a whole lot of missiles.
Wow.
Yeah.
I, wasn't the part of the patch was something to do with, in high intensity situations like AX conflict zones, the AI supposedly being a little more forgiving about how angry they get when you accidentally shoot them. Like they felt like that was tuned a little tight.
That's why I was surprised I got a bounty like instantly. And I wasn't the only person. Somebody on the Discord mentioned that happening to him earlier.
I've seen talk.
So yeah.
When I did get to play, I think on last Friday, there wasn't. When I tried to play, this was before today, so there weren't really Thargoids to speak of, except the unusually high hyperdiction rate in that system, right?
Yep.
It seems to be turned up. Seems that way to me, anyway. But I was in there trying to, play the CG the way I think it should be played, which is to say to blow up all the people running cargo for salvation because they're human traitors. And you can't find any, which is I think it's sort of a fundamental flaw in the game, the solo mode, but they're all in solo. You can't actually do anything that you want to do story-wise in the game. There's no way to actually oppose this. And in fact, the only thing I could find in open in that system was basically other people hell-bent on PvP, call them gankers, call them griefers, whatever you want. Some of them claimed to be there to defend against gankers, but everyone, all of them, were simply shooting anything else that moved, regardless. And so I rolled in kind of loaded to hunt cargo ships, and everybody else was loaded to hunt PvP ships. So yeah, I mean, whatever. I gave them all their fair fight, but ultimately lost a couple of times to various ships because they brought railguns and I brought frag cannons, and didn't work out. You know what I mean? But then I did switch to an AX ship, and then of course in jumping back in, I was going to go look for, I don't know, signal sources or something. But in jumping back in, I got hyperdicted by a dream team of a basilisk and 2 cyclops. So they do their fun when there's a crowd that hyperdicts you. They do this like hierarchy of command thing where like the highest variant that's there the others will come up to you, and then the highest variant will sort of move in, and the others will move out of the way, and it'll come in and do the scan, and then it'll back off and let the others kind of come in to attack first, kind of thing. It's really cool. If you ever get to see it, it's pretty neat. And so I got to kill them. That was fun. 3 interceptors at a time. I didn't realize one was a basilisk because it was so dark until I killed a cyclops, and then the second one, it's immediately clear, right, by how much damage it can take that it's a basilisk. And I was like, oh, oops. But anyway, that was cool. But I haven't been there yet today. I just logged in right now. So
yeah, I'm finally. I think I finally found interstellar factors. I've been trying to find one this whole time for the whole show.
It's a crappy scene, but that shouldn't be going on in the regular CZs, right? So
it shouldn't be. Yeah. Hopefully, but we'll see. But I'm playing with plasmas right now because I want to be ready for this ganker business you talked about. Instead of having to go switch ships, just being a ship that can give them a little bit of hell back. I have not. I mean, lots of other ships, but no idea what they're doing. So I haven't actually engaged anybody. But there was a lot of chatter in system chat.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? I don't know. But I mean, the whole solo play thing you said, I agree. I'm not one of these guys that thinks that solo play should not exist in game, but I think it should not exist in game. It's an MMO for flip's sake. Just let people, just play the game. The galaxy's so big, and if you want to avoid getting ganked, don't go to the events. CGs and stuff. You can easily avoid ever seeing other players in this game. I mean, super easy.
If I can, sorry, I feel like I'm monopolizing the conversation.
Monopolize away, man.
I have seriously thought about this, and I don't think a small change of like removing solo or something would be enough. But I do kind of feel like if solo had never existed to begin with, we would not have a culture of gankers. It would be, it's sort of a natural system emerges. It's like prey animals and predator animals. There's like they equalize. They find the equilibrium in their numbers, right? And the thing is, like, if everybody who was running that CG was in open, it would be like the 17-year cicadas. You can't possibly kill them all, and so almost everybody is not going to have any problem at all. And but I think, like, philosophically, like, if the solo mode had never existed from the beginning, you just wouldn't have this desperate need, these thirsty players for griefing other people. And I think the culture would be different, but that's speculation. As far as like what I would actually suggest to fix it, like, I don't think solo mode shouldn't exist, but I don't think, people toss around a reduced impact on the BGS or the state of the game. I think it should have no impact whatsoever. I agree. You should be able to do nothing but impact your own personal credits and like maybe your unlocks and stuff like that. But if you're playing solo, then you shouldn't have any impact. You should see the impact of other players in the game, but you shouldn't be able to subtract cargo from a station's availability. You shouldn't be able to deliver cargo to any goal or anything like that that's happening. You can do it and you'll get paid or whatever, but it won't affect the actual score in the game and won't affect actual BGS, your missions or whatever. You can get paid and you can get your materials, and somebody pointed out rightly when we were talking about this in the Discord, somebody pointed out rightly that there would be the issue of switching modes, right? So I could load up on cargo, switch to solo to go to the station and dock, and then switch back and then do my offloading. So you'd have to have something in the game where, commodities or whatever it is, whatever actions, mission, data, anything could simply be coded so it didn't switch modes with you.
Or it's real simple, just put a long cooldown. If you go into solo mode, you can't go back into open for 24 hours or vice versa. Some ridiculously long cooldown, so missions expire before you could go back.
Well, I feel like that pulls down, like if what we're trying to do is leave solo in because some people just want to play in solo, that's
and a cooldown.
I guess.
A cooldown.
I guess that would solve
fine.
it because
people that play in solo all the time, they'd be in solo. People that play in open all the time, it wouldn't be a problem. It's the people that bounce back and forth that it affects.
Yeah.
The cooldown would instantly put a kibosh on that concept.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
No,
the only other thing that I can think of that would be an immediate problem is literally the only time I ever log into solo is when I can't get a landing pad. When there's a bunch of stuff going on. So these things of mega ships where there's only one large pad and only two medium pads and stuff, that's got to go. And it probably has to be some kind of instancing thing. Like if you need a pad, you need to basically be insta-kicked to a new instance or something like that. Or if you come in and if there's NPCs on the pad, they get out of your way if you call for one. That's pretty much coded into the game already. But if you come in and there's players on the pad, I was thinking that it could show the player something, right, that would say like, somebody's asking for your pad. You need to either get off now or we're going to bring you below deck and basically log you into a new instance. And you got 10 or 15 or 30 seconds or whatever to do that. And that would be perfectly fine.
So
anyway.
so do y'all know how the solo mode even existed? Like how it came around?
Well, because there was originally supposed to be an offline mode, which they canceled. Yeah,
right. Yeah, the whole thing started in offline mode, or was going to be a full blown offline mode. I'm of the mindset as someone who originally started playing in solo mode and played mostly in solo mode until the last couple of years, because the few times I'd played in open, I'd gotten ganked. Which it was one of these. I was not being very smart about how I was playing, but anyway. I'm of the mindset solo mode needs to go away, and what I want to have happen with it is that I want, if you play in solo mode, it's a different save file. Like you can copy your existing save file over one time, and then after for you to play,
you fork your commander.
well, basically, yeah. I mean, like if you want to play in solo mode, here you go. You can play in solo mode, but guess what? You can't go back. Or if you
you want a permanent cooldown,
cooldown of about 86 years.
We're at a point right now where it's like solo. The flip flopping back and forth affects CGs and the BGS so bad. It's a situation where we have people doing things subvertly that not really in our group so much, but that I know that are hurting other groups because I've heard about them. I've heard of like really bad horror stories of clearly, I don't know what you call them, like people who log like that. I don't have a word for them.
Okay. Combat loggers is named cloggers. Combat loggers. So these are sloggers, solo loggers.
Yeah. So it's a situation where they are hurting the overall game. Almost to the point to where I would almost call them exploiters or cheaters.
Well,
So-
it's not though, because the game is designed to work that way.
Well, it's okay. You're right. It's not.
I don't
it's not
think
a
it's
flat
fair.
out. Right.
But the game, they are working within the bounds of how the game was designed to work.
Right.
They are
So-
playing a one-sided game because they are able to affect things with no negative consequences.
Wait a minute.
But
where
they're
the fuck
playing
did you come
elite
from?
safe.
I
Right.
snuck in.
So
Man.
Nurgle.
Yes.
That's all. I was just announcing you in case they. What if somebody's first episode was this one? You know what I mean? Anyway, go on, guys.
So I'm of the mindset that it needs to go away, and it needs to go away. Like you can still have it, but make it to where it's a completely different save file. Either you copy your character over, or maybe you copy it as is, and you can have both, but they just proceed down two different paths. Like whatever you do in one doesn't affect the other.
Send
It's
them to
untenable
console.
from a database perspective, though.
Well,
No, it's not. There is a way to
'Cause-
do that.
it would only exist on your computer anyway, so who cares?
They don't even have to do that. It's as simple as, and they already have the mechanism for this in the game where you have special mission cargo. Anything that is acquired in solo mode is flagged as solo. So then when you go to sell it, be it data or cargo or whatever, it
Nurgle.
Bye.
Nope.
just you get the
Oh, you're back.
TGS. It doesn't do anything like that. And that would be the easiest way to do it because they're never going to remove solo mode. What you have to do is firewall off the consequences of it.
Yeah.
So
It-
that's basically that's the plan that I kind of outlined earlier before you hopped in. Your
Great
mic
mic.
cut out a little, or your Discord connection cut out a little bit during that, but yeah, I get it. I agree.
Yeah, it's just you have to put that firewall in between solo and other modes, and then they can coexist.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, most solo mode players don't want to coexist. They just, they want to play their own game.
But we would sure as shit find out if that's really true, wouldn't we? If suddenly you couldn't impact the game, if you could just make your own money in a CG, and if that's really all they want to do, and they don't want to sway the tide of the story when in instances where there's a competing CG, then that's fine. But they wouldn't be racking up points that are visible on the end result, right? It's only to themselves.
Well,
and you'd find out because some people might say, oh, well, shoot, if I don't have any BGS impact, well, now I'm not going to play in solo anymore. I want to have my impact. Some people probably wouldn't, but we'll see.
Think about it this
We
way,
would.
though. Like when I first started playing, I played solo for quite a while and didn't think anything of it because I didn't even know what the BGS was or power play or anything like that. And I was just kind of playing solo mode. So, I mean, I could see that as anything you're doing in solo mode doesn't have any effect on BGS. You're tagging the stuff, any items that affect the BGS, power play, all of those things. It almost makes it like a new player mode. You're not affecting the galaxy. It could even be kind of stated that way. So then people realize that they're playing noob mode if they're staying in solo. Then you go into open and you can actually participate in CGs and power play and BGS and yes, you're going to risk getting attacked by other players. But if you've decided I've played enough of this game that I think I can live in a galaxy with other players. You've graduated to the real version of the game.
So it could be receive mode or send and receive mode.
Yeah, well, yeah, or just new player zone mode.
Well, the new
put in
player
that
zone
new
you could
player
still
zone.
do an open. I mean, the new
I know
player
you
zone
can,
still has its
but-
own
but
missions and stuff like that.
that's-
But I'm just saying, like, if this new version of solo that we're talking about, it has the ability to receive the BGS. Like any BGS state changes at the tick are received by that player, and the player can observe and play in the galaxy that is being affected by all the players in open, and their actions don't count except to their own commander's wealth, basically. So it's just receive only.
Yeah.
Right.
And then if actually people really just want to do that and it doesn't bother them that they don't have an impact, then they can.
Yep.
That's the like everybody's happy mode. Like this idea that they'll never do that because nobody, they can't please everyone. They'll be outraged. Those people who would be outraged by this plan, I think they deserve to be outraged. Good. Because you've been a scourge on this galaxy for too long.
Yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah. All right. Who else has an opinion?
Not that
come
we
on,
don't have
Ed.
strong
Pretty-
opinions here.
I have a strong opinion, but it's all in agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
pretty
fine.
pretty
I'm
annoying
fine.
when you can't do anything about people opposing you, as we've seen time and time again.
Yeah, when the Fedniks are hiding from you and won't let us shoot them down.
Yep.
Exactly.
I mean, when I first started playing, it was, in solo mode, but that's, eventually graduated into open play, and that's how I wound up here. So,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
met Dubs.
yeah.
You came into a conflict zone that we had interest in, and you were fighting on the wrong side.
Yeah, I didn't even
And
know that.
Did they blow you up or
Yeah.
just run you off?
Yeah, Dubs killed
Yes.
you and
Little bit of
invited
both.
you. Yeah.
He killed you and then invited you to the team.
You
Yeah.
gotta
You
you
came
gotta
back.
breathe with him first, and then you're welcome in. It's like blood in, blood out.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say get rid of solo mode, but yeah, just take away the BGS effect of it, because that's really the linchpin. You don't have to get rid of solo mode, just neuter it. That's all you gotta do. That's in my opinion.
Cut off its balls.
Yeah, pretty
All
much.
right.
That's in my opinion, that's all you have to do. Is just lop off its nuts.
Yeah,
And-
you don't want it reproducing anyway. Good.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and they clearly have the ability to do this, because like already there are many mined commodities that are exempt from BGS impact. There's no visual indicator. They don't say anything when
Oh,
you have them in
really?
your cargo hold. But yeah, I mean, if you go mine, a few thousand tons of like low temperature diamonds or painite, back when those things were actually worth something, and then you went and sold it to a station, it had no effect because it was a mined commodity, and it lined your bank account, but it had no BGS effect.
Really? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's not true for everything, but for some mined materials that is true. So you
Yeah.
can, so all of that mechanic can be applied to solo mode. You just have to make sure that if like a mission, if you picked it up in solo mode, I'm sorry. No, not picked it up. If you completed it in solo mode, well,
I
it's
think
flagged,
it's
Every time
gotta
you
be
guys say
both.
solo mode, I imagine we're all wearing white shirts with a black vest, and we've got a Wookiee companion. But go on.
I think it's got to be. I think it's got to be both. Like if you pick something up in solo mode, then it can only be turned in solo mode,
no.
and that means it will have no effect.
Well, but if it's flagged, it doesn't matter which mode you turn it in; it's going to have no effect. Is my position.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess that works fine. It's just I'm thinking like there's no reason to let them pick it up in solo and then switch to open to pass it in. You're saying it's flagged anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that is quite already coded into the game, because like the different, what you're talking about is the same. Like a commodity doesn't have a BGS effect. That's the same whether that commodity is in open or solo.
But what I'm saying is the mechanism is there, and they can
To
utilize
make it not have an effect.
Yeah.
So if you acquire or you claim a bounty and you're fighting them in solo mode, that bounty would be flagged. So if you're turning that in, it won't affect the BGS too.
Right.
Is that all things like that?
I would sort of I don't know. I don't know what would be simpler coding wise, but I think it doesn't matter. It has a perfectly acceptable effect. But whether it's that it doesn't count if you turn it in if it was earned in solo, it doesn't count if it's turned in at all, or if it's earned in solo, it literally isn't there until you're back in solo mode. At which time it doesn't count.
That just no matter what mechanism is done, it has to be if it was earned in solo mode. Either you can't turn it in or it has no effect. Or if you turn it in solo mode, we don't care where you got it from. It has no effect.
Well, what about this now? So you go out exploring in open because you never see anybody in open. You get a bunch of exploration data.
Yeah.
Then you fly to a station in solo so you can't get attacked. And then you log back into open when you're at the station to turn in the data. The data was earned in open and turned in open.
Then you have successfully skirted the system because I can't think of any way to catch that.
I'm going back to my timer. Cooldown.
Yeah.
Cooldown timer. Yeah.
The exploration data is not the scourge that is destroying our galaxy,
I know,
is it? That's sort of the least painful point of this whole thing.
I'm trying to skirt this game, their only consistency is their inconsistency. I'm trying to get some consistency where, across the board, there aren't ways to circumvent this and still affect the BGS.
Using Chig's example, you could load up with a bunch of commodities in open, switch to solo, fly somewhere, switch back to open, and sell them. And
you're right.
And I can't think of a good way.
I think if you're in solo at any point while those are in your hold, they need to get the solo flag.
Yeah, that would be the only way to do it.
I'm going back to, if you go into solo, you're in solo for a 24-hour
but that's not long enough.
Or something, 48 hours.
It's not long enough.
A week.
I think it has to. I don't think it's a cooldown. I think if you have any interactions, like if you have a mission, if you touch solo mode while you have that mission, it's got the solo flag.
It's flagged.
You got to stay. You got to stay 100% clean open the whole time from start to finish. And then if you've got no missions on the board, you got no bounties, you've got nothing to turn in, blah blah. Then you're safe to switch to solo mode. Nothing's going to get flagged because you don't have anything, right? And that would work for the exploration data too. I mean, you could just be punishing about it and say like, yeah, you collected that in open. Great job. Don't accidentally hit solo before you turn it in.
Yeah.
But exploration data doesn't, I mean, it has,
it's
minor. I guess it has a BGS effect, but it's not a huge problem.
It's not huge.
Unless it was a CG, I don't know. If it's a CG, then you're directly skirting the danger of turning in that data. We've had exploration data CGs before.
That's true.
So yeah. Shoot, I'm talking myself right even higher up this hill.
Yeah, I'm right on this hill with you. And I am the consensual PvP guy, and I am on this hill with you.
Yeah. Nurgle hates PvP.
Of course, well, that may be too strong a term, but yeah, I do have some strong feelings about it because I think if you do something like this, you do have to make meaningful crime and punishment in the game.
Yes.
And I know we have talked before, and I am an absolute fan of, certain areas like anarchy systems, CZs, are a designated free fire zone. You know exactly what you're getting into when you fly into them, and if somebody shoots you, and hey, you knew.
Right.
But a high security system, as an example, should have a rather robust crime and punishment that is actually there to protect players who do not turn on their PvP flag.
Yeah. So if
I would even go as far as to say, as the PvP flag, if you deploy hard points, that's considered trying to self-defense. If you die, you die. If you don't deploy hard points, then it's murder.
Mm-hmm. I theorize that if this solo mode change that we're outlining here, like if that happened, then a hell of a lot more players would be doing their business in open because they have to for it to have an effect. And I think it would change the tide significantly. I think the reason ganking is a problem in the systems where it's a problem is only because there's almost nobody but gankers there.
You are 100% correct.
Mm-hmm.
I will just tack this little bitty asterisk on. We would also need security states to matter.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Which is kind of part of what he was just saying, right?
Well.
Yes.
I don't know if that was before I got here or not, and I'm sorry if it was.
Yeah, it's okay. I think, crime and punishment could, but I think it wouldn't need as much of a change. Like right now we're thinking, oh my God, major overhaul to crime and punishment. That's a huge issue. I wonder if it would be less of an issue if this was the case with solo, I don't know. I mean, I think I agree. It would quicker responses, things like that. That's probably the best way to handle it.
And
But
and while we're on things that need to be changed, a full mission overhaul, because I'm tired of data delivery missions being the easiest and fastest way to gather influence.
Yeah.
Now
But
we're
just
just
to-
fixing all the problems. I like it.
Just to, to touch on something Trax had mentioned, your experience with this recent CG was all gankers in open because everybody who's running for the CG is in solo. If
100%.
if everybody was in solo, you still would have had a number of people who were in the system just to gank, but you would have had people who were in the system who were running cap for the CG participants. I mean,
Yes.
there would have been both sides, and you would have
Right.
seen, the servers catching fire and burning with the number of people who were all in the same instance. But that's a completely separate conversation.
Well, I think there for one thing, the first people who shot me down were claiming to be from, well, I shouldn't say, they were from something with an S. Shoot,
Spear.
I forgot it.
Spear.
Yes, exactly. So Spear, which is a squad that announces that they are defending. Basically, they just go wherever the gankers are and try to defend the lowly ganky, I guess. But here's the thing. There wasn't anyone to defend, so they were just like everybody else. They were just indiscriminately shooting anybody who wasn't currently in their wing, right? So I got jumped by 4 players who did not check what I was doing first. I was like, there's nobody to shoot here. I literally don't even have a wanted tag right now, but you're going to blow me up anyway. So I left them, and then later I tried again and kind of went back, and this time 7 players went, and I was like, all right, whatever, I'll stick around. And after a few minutes, they finished me off, right? But they wanted to defend people. There's nobody to defend, so that it's just a free-for-all again. And the next day that I was there, it was a similar kind of situation. There wasn't spear people there, but it was just indiscriminate shooting. Like, one person pulled me and started to do the role play thing like they were a ganker, right? Or that's a stupid thing to call it, but they were basically like role playing a pirate. They pulled me and gave me the release 1 ton of cargo. Now, I'm flying a Mamba at this point. And I was like, are you serious? Like, I don't have a cargo rack, dude. I'm here to blow up cargo runners. Like, why are you coming after me? You're clearly here to attack cargo runners too. And then they didn't pay attention to those chat messages and then just proceeded to fight me. And I was like, okay, I guess this is the only PvP I'm going to find here, so I guess I'll do it. But that's the thing. There's nothing to do, even for somebody who seemed like they wanted to role play. That they will ask for cargo from a Mamba. And then, of course, ignore all the results of that. So they were just going to shoot no matter what, I guess. But like, what? What is that?
Yeah, they were clearing their conscience in their own weird fucking way.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because I turned up like I wasn't in a group, so it doesn't count as ganking. I wasn't griefing anyone. I was role playing. I was intending to within the game. There was just nobody there to do it.
Well, and the spear guys became what they were there to fight.
Yeah, and I tried sending that in chat messages to them too, but they don't care because there's nothing to do. I actually ran into your friend and mine, Butthole Jenkins, one of the leaders over at AXI, buzzing around. He interdicted me and still flying my Mamba. And I was like, 07 Commander, what brings you here? Finding anything to shoot? And he said, only commanders.
Nice.
So it's just free for all shooting of other PvPers. That's the only thing that actually happens around a CG, no matter what the CG is.
If they could find a way to make it rewarding to escort the cargo ships, CG rewards or bonus credits or something to make
sharing the rewards as a fighter escort.
Yeah, exactly. But then, there'd be ways to exploit that. A cargo ship could just, wing up with a few people, and then they're just getting, all of them are getting the rewards at the same time. I don't know how you'd
But if
make
they're
it
doing
work, but
if they're doing that in open,
Right.
but that's
Good.
maybe not
Good
bad.
on them.
Yeah.
They're all winging up in open. I say, sure, multiply their reward.
yeah, give all, if everybody, and well, what if it's 3-4 cargo ships and they're all getting multiplied
care.
rewards? Then I'm
Then
fine
they
with
don't
that.
have an escort, so they're running extra danger. They deserve extra reward.
Everything else in
that's-
this game is
Yeah.
more rewarding if you're doing it in a wing. So why not
right.
running cargo for a mission where everybody gets credit in the wing for what everybody else does?
Why not?
Then you could
Or
have
at least partial credit or
escorts.
something. I mean, I don't care how you
something.
break the math down, but something that's going to make it worthwhile.
Make it
If
worth
it was-
anything that encourages teamwork to
Yeah.
play it with other players. Anything
And it would be
takes
fun.
us
Like
away.
if the system was literally filled with people running cargo, then there would be people to shoot, there would be people to defend. Who knows what the culture would happen, where it would shake out and emerge, but it would not be what's here now, where it's like, well, you can't go to, you can't go to Jameson Memorial, you'll get ganked.
There
Well,
would
no,
be
you
a
won't.
yeah.
First of all,
there would
I've
be a
been to
blight.
Jameson Memorial 150 times, and I have been shot down in that system one time.
Yeah.
So don't believe the hype.
I don't think I've ever been shot down in Jameson.
Yeah.
I've been ganked where I wasn't there looking for people twice. Once somebody got me, and when I was relatively new, and the second time was actually at Jameson Memorial, this invincible dolphin flying around the inside of Jameson. So,
Cheater.
stupid hacker. Yeah. And he was just ramming people to death inside the station while the station was shooting at him, and there was nothing that could be done. But other than that, like once or twice ever. And then a handful of times when I'm actually over there, looking for those players to get pulled on purpose, because they will get you. But it's fun.
And imagine if the traffic, Jameson Memorial, now that's probably a place where people would be doing their business, and they might still be able to do their business in solo, because you're only doing stuff there that nobody's BGSing in Shinrarta Desra. Are they?
Not anymore.
No.
Well, there's so much traffic that every faction there's bucket is so full that nothing matters.
Yeah.
There's no BGS activity going on there.
I wonder if this whole, like, if you touch solo at any point, the stuff on you gets flagged. I wonder if that would inconvenience people enough that they'd stay in open anyway. I mean, whatever. There's plenty of, I see people in open and Jameson every time I go, and not just the gankers. So it's not a wholly lonely system, but
yeah. And I don't like the cooldown idea now that I've thought about it more.
Yeah, because if I got to go
I'm changing my mind.
If I have to go to Deciat for some engineering that needs to get done, and then I've got some asshole that wants to just pull me down and destroy me repeatedly, what am I gonna do? Go to solo and then I gotta wait for the cooldown? Like, no.
Yeah, but that's not the reason why I'm against the cooldown. I still, we need crime and punishment fixed if we get rid of solo for sure. So systems like Deciat and Shinrarta shouldn't be that bad if we actually have system security. I was thinking more about the fact that somebody who plays in solo, on a regular basis, well, no, it would still work, I guess, because their cooldown would be up. They could go to open in order to play with their friends, but then they couldn't go back to solo for a long time. If you've got a cooldown, it might limit how much somebody could I'm saying anything that encourages people to play multiplayer. I think a cooldown might hamper that, so that's why I'm backing off that stance. I don't want anything that punishes somebody who wants to come and play and open for a while.
I just think Deciat wouldn't be as much of a problem if all the systems were loaded with people doing their work in open.
Exactly.
There's no need to focus on Deciat, except because now there's players who don't know that, like, the prey in Deciat is because it's the first engineer system and you don't know it's going to be dangerous. But if there's always players in all the systems, then the only PvPers that would be left in Deciat are the ones who literally just want a seal club, helpless stuff, right? And there would be much more interesting places to do that. Any CG would have to be being flown in open, right? And all the other engineers, I mean, any other high traffic system, anywhere where the mining prices are high at the time, you'd be loaded with stuff.
Yeah, and there's a very small amount of gankers relative to the number of people playing this game. And reason you end up getting screwed is because so many people go into solo for the CGs and, Shinrardas and Deciats, people go into solo to hide from gankers. If everybody's in open, your odds of being the person that gets ganked goes down massively too, because there's 100 ships in open rather than just you,
Right. And the gankers are spread out because it's not just that system anymore.
Yeah, there's people everywhere that they can try to find. So, and if everybody's in open and also people are getting ganked, everybody in that system, but I was like, who's ganking? Let's get them. I don't know.
Right.
It would make for far more dynamic gameplay.
This system does not increase the number of gankers either, because those people are sort of being driven to it out of desperation.
Yep.
Right. For the kind of gameplay they want to do. There's only one thing they can do. They've got to hunt in these specific systems. So if they're all spread out, they're not as thirsty for it. There's plenty of visibility around it happening. And there is a ton of players who would jump in to help when they see this stuff going on. Anyway.
It would make the game better. Period.
Period.
Exclamation point? Exclamation point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
So now that the notes have been gone over by everybody, now they're filled with all kinds of stuff about dinosaurs, and there's stuff from other games in here. This is fun.
I always forget the notes are there.
Right on.
Well, that's what this show became about, didn't it?
Yeah. Kind of.
Do you want to do a bug report?
None of us have really played enough this last week to really have anything to say. We can plug your bug report, your bug thing again.
Repeat of last week. Yeah, the same bugs still exist, of course, because no patches or anything have happened. But there are 3 issues being highlighted by loose screws at the moment, and they are the GPU utilization issue. The other one raised by Grover Kiwi, who is talking about SRVs being sent back to your ship, basically, if you crash or log out while disembarking from an SRV, which could be quite bad if you're out there in the black. And then the fun new CQC bug that totally prevents CQC from running and crashes the game. So, bad news.
Yeah. Right on.
And I've got one bug to add. Yeah, so getting black adders from the prison ships, you can go up to your ship and you can try and climb in it from the prison ship, right? But you just get a black adder. And if you're on planet side and you just walk up to your ship and you try and get in, you get a black adder. So the best way to do it is to go out to Horizons, log into Horizons, log back in, and then you're back in your ship. It's a pain in the ass. Doesn't happen when you're in your SRV to get into your ship, just when you're on foot.
So the trick is to disembark your SRV, then disembark on foot.
Yep.
Except then you'll get this other bug and your SRV will appear back in your ship and you're screwed anyway.
Yep. So then in that case, which has happened to me, you got to log back out and log into Horizons, which will put you back in your ship. And then you have to log back out and log back into Odyssey. So
is this super common? I haven't done any disembarking at all.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you have an issue tracker link for this?
No, I don't have an issue tracker link. I didn't make one, but there is an issue tracker on there. Somebody else made it. Yeah, it's on there. I just don't have a link.
Okay. I'll see if I can find it. Somebody else talk about something.
Chig chat?
Chig chat. Let's do this one.
Yo, it's Chig chat. Durper, Chig chat. Durper, what a cheese at. Durper,
derp, dargo, a derp, derp, Chig chat, derp, 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 what a cheese app, Chig chat, what a cheese app, Chig chat. That's all I got.
One just never ends. Every time I think it's over, he starts making the fart noises again. Oh my God. What is happening to this world? All right. Chig Chat is where I shout out what all these idiots around the game that we play are doing, the community stuff. One weird trend that happened last week is they started putting my face onto strange movie posters, and
It was glorious. That's
Oh
what
my
it was.
goodness.
was you need to go to it. The
Yes.
Chig Chat channel was changed to Chig Pics just because I made the mistake of having my picture somewhere in the Discord, and now my face is added to, like, instead of the Godfather, it's the Gouda Father, and instead of the Princess Bride, it's the Princess Brie, and it's inconceivable, and they're super. We got some talented freaking people.
Grover Kiwi gets special commendation this week.
Yeah, outstanding stuff. You really need to go check this shit out. It really kind of fit the whole face-off thing when we were talking about face-off. So then it was my face taking input on stuff. So good job, Nurgle and Teflon and Grover and Roy Cooks and all you guys. Outstanding. I'm very proud of you all, and I approve. We need more of this stuff in my life.
I am a trend setter.
Yes, you are, my friend. Other than that, we had a few doggo pictures, Indigo, and then it in parentheses, PC Boobtron. Is that Boobtron just another account? I don't know, but it's a really cute dog that he posted a picture of. Bard got up to Gladiator and face shooting rank, whatever that's called.
Via murder. Yes.
Hate post a picture of his cat, Pete Lovecraft. Love people to give their pets first and last names. That's very nice. And then Grover Kiwi gave a picture of another fucking cat, and Nurgle had a Hawaiian shirt made.
An upside down cat, though, at least.
With his cat popping out from behind leaves on it. I don't know, this whole cat thing. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but let's make it stop. And Jello Wigger's puppy is now learned that he gets his nose pinched from his pedals, so he stays away. Good for him. I guess that's all I got. Did anybody see anything else? Anything awesome that people did in the community this week? That's what I thought.
We had a
Quiet.
That's what we have you for.
Is there somebody else that got like triple elite? That finally.
Next week, triple elite this week.
Holy Christ! How did I forget? I'm sorry, man. Good job. It's been a long haul. We're all proud of you. Everybody should come to the Discord just to give you a virtual pat on the back and maybe send you money. Would that work? I think that.
Yeah, I pretty much live for the accolades, so that would help me live.
Your ego needs stoking. Got it.
There's a Venmo, everybody.
Yeah,
Venmo. Yeah, that's all I got. That's Chig Chat for the week.
Circling back to this issue tracker about black adders when entering your ship. Yeah, it is on the issue tracker. It's on the issue tracker 12 separate times.
Okay, good.
So here's the thing, guys. You want your bugs to get fixed. You know, the issue tracker is bad enough when you don't fuck it up. Okay, like what the fuck, people? I'm looking like it holds your hand. Like if you go to post an issue, as you type, it's like searching. It's like, are you sure your issue isn't one of these? It's trying desperately to get you to realize somebody already posted that so that you can help confirm it. There are 12 issues in confirming status since update 12 of the Black Adder when entering ships. Some people say it's specific ships, some people say it's specific locations, but it's all the same story. And this is why they struggle. This is why they're not paying attention to this stuff. This is, come on. This doesn't help.
Come on, man.
12 reports on the same issue. It should already be in confirmed status.
Mhm.
Good Lord. I'm disappointed in you, the public.
Need
You
to
sound disgusted.
pick one.
Right?
I mean, when
Yeah.
I went to the issue tracker to make the report, it popped up with one. I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm having. I contributed to it, the first one that
Yeah.
was there. So, yeah.
You just picked the first one. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I searched and it was clear that something was up, so I changed my search terms just to black adder. There are, like I said, there are 12. The 13th one is somebody who's having a black adder in the middle of a jump, and then they spawn back at the prison on their feet. So I don't know if it's related or not. It doesn't seem like exactly the same thing, but everything else is when I get on my spaceship.
Yep.
You don't need 12 different reports for the
Yeah.
same issue. Just push up one report and
Yeah.
you'll get their attention faster. Less is
Clearly,
more.
this muddies all the stuff because all of these reports now aren't piling onto one, and so it's never reaching the status where they're actually going to say, "Okay, this is legit. Let's investigate."
Can I just make one point, though? You discovered that in like 20 seconds of searching. There's not an FDev person watching the issue tracker that goes, look at these. All 12 of these are the same. Let's combine them.
I believe that's the same hamster that spins the power supply for the server.
It's you know they are not going, let's try to make this work. Let's try to clean up around the edges here. They're just saying like, okay, they have limited time, they have limited hours, they have limited attention. There's no way they're looking
20
at
seconds.
anything that isn't already converted. No,
20 seconds.
not at all. Because the black adder, I was looking for a specific thing. If they go in and just search all right, let's change.
Are
Let's
any of
get
them
rid
like in the
search
top
terms.
20?
They're not confirmed yet. You can't show. You can't until we get to the confirmed. You can't vote, and then you can sort by top voted, right? So let's go to confirming. So with no search terms, there's 44 pages. So there's at least 440 issues that have been posted here, but don't have enough votes yet to be in confirmed status, or not. Don't have enough confirmations to be in confirmed status.
Now, do you think if they, paid you and you took, 2 hours to just shoot through those real quick, you could combine all
Like
the
to
ones that
dedupe
are
them?
duplicate? Yeah. I mean, it really wouldn't. It's not
Yeah, I
ton
probably
of
could.
work.
But I don't believe that they're gonna do. I don't believe they're gonna put anybody on that. That's intern work.
That's
They should have an intern do it.
An intern could just be combining the issue. I know that we got plenty of numbskulls that are doing this, posting the same freaking thing multiple times, but they may just simply be saying, well, I'm just going to bring it up again, rather than realizing exactly how the issue tracker works. They're just going to keep throwing the same problem out there and hoping that if they keep seeing the same thing, maybe they'll address it without following the rules. All right,
Yeah.
you're a damn idiot for doing that, but somebody at FDev could combine the duplicates and then you'd find out which ones are actually, a thing. I don't know. Plenty of blame to go around. Plenty of stupid all around.
Plenty of stupid. What's next?
Story of
No, that's not next.
what's movies? Cheese? What?
Oh, my cheese this week? I'm just gonna go with that frickin' that fondue vending machine in Switzerland. I'm moving to Switzerland.
That's not what it says in the show notes.
That's because some goober's been editing the show notes.
Oh, Jesus Christ! What the hell? This is actually a masterpiece. The fact that you spend this much time editing show notes while the show is going on is a beautiful thing.
Archaeologists have identified a substance found inside an ancient Egyptian tomb. 3,200-year-old cheese. The discovery was significant as no cheese had previously been found in an ancient Egypt before, and could be the oldest cheese residue on Earth. The material analyzed is probably the most ancient archaeological solid residue of any cheese ever found to date. We know it was made mostly from sheep's and goat's milk. The tomb is located in the Saqqara necropolis near Cairo. There's a link in the show note. You know what?
So
I'm
really,
leaving
if
that
it's
in.
just our residue, would we just like chop it up and snort it like a drug? I don't know what you'd do.
I think it's
do a line
ancientness
of
has
cheese,
caused
yeah.
it to be residue, right?
Yeah, it would have to be. I mean, it's 3,200-year-old cheese.
It's almost as old as Nurgle.
That's
Oh, his mic dropped out right then.
I know. That's
This might take a nap.
you'd almost
That's all.
think I did it on purpose.
my connection appears to be fading in and out, but Chig still wants to. Chig ordered a line of cheese.
It's extra aged anyway.
Yes. Yes, I
This is
do.
what you want, right? In a cheese. So
Let me just
He
get some
knows.
of that macaroni and cheese powder in the can to snort.
yep.
That was around the time of the Bronze Age collapse.
Wow.
Great
34
background.
years ago.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
glad we got ourselves a new research assistant here. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
More of that. You should have done that before the show. We would have read those notes, and this would have come off as an almost professional thing.
You give us too much credit.
Yeah.
Professionalism implies someone's getting paid. Come on now.
Who even did that? 'Cause
I'm
just
assuming
looking at
you.
the notes. It was me. I didn't do any of that.
Oh my God. Was that Nurgle?
You've been designated
sounds
as
like
the
bullshit.
doer. That's
That sounds
me,
like bullshit.
methinks thou doth protest a bit too much.
That excuse smells a little like 3,200-year-old cheese.
Mm-hmm.
What would 3,200-year-old cheese smell like? I wonder.
Bullshit.
I know.
Stinky
Let's
bullshit.
chop it into a powder and I'll snort it up my nose and I'll tell you
That
what it
was-
smells like.
That wasn't in the article.
The movie anniversaries look fun.
Yeah. Yeah. The Amazing Spooderman is 10 years old.
Even after Teflon's edits.
I don't know if I ever saw it. Transformers. The original Transformers movie 15 years ago was actually a decent movie because it had that first contact thing. And oh my God, Megan Fox was actually insanely hot at that point. And it was funny. It was entertaining. And then every Transformers movie after that was just robots beating the shit out of each other, which is entertaining, but
Yeah,
there's
with no consequences too. They all they just beat each other mercilessly, and the weapons have either no effect or great effect, and you never know which.
Yep, it's
Now, the only
random.
Transformers movie I recognize and will acknowledge is the one from 1984.
Amen, brother.
You can turn if you have like 5 TVs sit next to each other, you can start like all of the recent Transformers movies at the same time, and it's like you're watching the same movie on 5 different screens. Like they hit the same beats at like the exact same time.
Wow,
It's wild.
far out, man.
I might have
Michael
enough monitor
Chaplin's
space. I
criminal.
can try that.
Yeah.
Based criminal, and he should be torn out of Hollywood.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Like, NL8 has a seething hatred of
Yeah.
JJ.
No,
No,
he hates James Cameron with a
right.
burning hate,
Yeah. Never mind.
which boggles my mind. But
That's
all right.
weird, man. James Cameron's great. You're
We
full
never
of
got
shit.
an exclamation on that.
Yeah, he's like a fucking genius.
That is a different story for a different time.
Fair enough.
I think Michael Bay, I'm not going to say he's like a great filmmaker, but the man is extremely self-aware. He knows what he does.
Yeah.
He makes big explosions on movie screens, and like it or not, the butts keep hitting the seats. So
He knows why he's there.
yep.
Like,
Yeah,
he
it's
knows
true.
what they want.
Not a goddamn thing wrong with that.
Yep.
Amen. Then
so
what?
far
20 years ago was Men in Black 2. We'll just skip that. 'Cause then 25 years
Moon in
was
Black.
Moon in Black. Men in Black 1. Decent movie, right? I mean,
Yeah.
nothing special.
I thought
I
that
watched
was
that
fun.
a lot.
Yeah,
on,
like-
what was it on TBS? It was playing all the time.
Now, amen. 25 years also was Contact, which is a phenomenal fucking movie, in my opinion, based off of Carl Sagan's book.
Yeah.
It was
And
really good. I
Yeah.
remember seeing it when it came out on. We rented it after it came out on video back when there were video stores and VCRs.
Laserdisc rental.
Blockbuster Video.
Yeah.
And,
I saw it in the theater because I'm not a child like you guys. I'm sure Nurgle, brought his grandkids to it.
Thanks, man.
Hello.
That's a great movie. If you have not seen that, put it on your list of movies that you really need to see because it's super good.
Absolutely.
I have a different opinion than that.
you will get
It's
pissed off
okay.
at a few points during the movie, like I did.
30 years ago, League of Their Own. There's no crying in baseball, so there's that. And
Did you know they wanted to do a sequel to that movie?
Yeah.
I just saw this the other day. I was reading about it.
What? How would that work? That was only like one season of that stuff, wasn't it? So
somebody pitched a sequel where it was like 10, 15 years later, and like the lead character, one of the lead characters, the Dottie, I forget the actress, Gina Davis. That is who it was. Her character had a daughter, apparently, that wanted to play in a baseball league, and so she would have to go in there and show, like, these kids how to play baseball. And that was the pitch that somebody pitched for it.
What a shame that never got picked up.
A female Bad News Bears or something. What do we got going on with that? I don't know what's happening.
I didn't say it was a good pitch. I just said it was pitched.
35 years. I don't even. Adventures in Babysitting. We're really mentioning that. We'll skip that. And Tron at 40 years is actually not for that'd be like next week, I think. And why do we have a 37-year anniversary? I mean,
That's
Look to the Future is fine, but Back to the Future, yeah, it's a great movie. But if we just want to do that, we could we could
just
Star
say
Wars
how
every
many-
year. We could
How
do,
many years, months, weeks, and days since it's been to Star Wars every single episode?
37 years. That's the plutonium anniversary. So yeah, Back to the Future.
I thought it was the cork. I thought 37 was cork.
No, Cork's like 11 or something.
I'll just have to go back and listen to last week's episode. We found all this out.
Yeah, I heard that, and I was like, I could swear Cork anniversary is something too. And Dubs is no, Data's Googling was like, nah, man, that's not a thing. Okay, so
It's all settled.
yeah, it's settled. It's now official. I don't know. That's it for the movie anniversaries. What do we have at the very bottom here? Oh, if you like the show, I'll read like you did the cheese thing.
All right.
If you like the show, please rate and review on your podcast app, which helps people find the show. Join us on Discord at discord.io/loose-screws, and you're blocking.
Why does it sound like you're leaning over to read that?
I was, because he was blocking that. See, Anonymous Chipmunk is blocking right where I was trying to read. What is that?
He's a mischievous little bastard.
And then there goes Dumbo Platypus or something. Yeah, actually, that would be really good at the end, as we each take turns reading whatever's at the bottom, and people just type random shit and see if a Ron Burgundy happens. Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
You can't stop reading, yeah.
You just can't stop. Yes, that's it. Buy hoodies. That's all I got.
Okay. Yeah. Keep it loose.
And screwy.